Good afternoon, it's the Saints Man small van driver on the CX, and this is Monday to Friday starting on the Monday the 4th. Today's Saturday afternoon, I'm doing it this afternoon. I normally do this Sunday morning, but we've got both grandchildren tomorrow for the day and a 4 and a 5 year old. There's nowhere going to be quiet in this house to be able to sit down and do a week in the life of. And it's got to be the maddest week I think I've had. In one day, I did more in one day than I did the other 4 days put together. But that one day was huge. I've never done a day like it. It was massive, long, but very profitable, and I reached my target for the week pretty much predominantly for that one day. First of all, thanks for subscribing. Anyone wants to subscribe, please do so. Up to 350 something now, which I'm staggered, but it's only drivel what I talk about. It's what suits me. What does me? This is what does me. I've had a fair few questions. I've answered them all. What I've seen. I'm trying to be helpful for people. Hope it all, it does help you in certain ways. But this is what works for me. I've had van issues. Oh, van issues. Don't get me going on van issues. Only van issues is nothing major. It's niggly things that need doing. And as you can see by the time, I've got a cracked windscreen just to top it off on Wednesday, which I've just had repaired this morning. Insurance. Went smoothly actually. I had to pay £100 excess. But yeah, new cracked window was put in this morning. Anyway, started Monday. I hadn't got a job booked in, nothing booked in at all. I picked a job up not too late. I forget what time it was, wasn't too bad. From Wellingborough, it was 9 miles from me. And it was to pick up to go to Cheshunt. And it was going to a really posh house. It was like a stately home sort of events place where they were doing. They got cameras and all there. They were setting up for advertisement. I think it was for champagne. I took two big boxes down. Nice and easy. Cheshunt, just off the M25. Got £60, and now I'm plus VAT. So this is before VAT. On flat rate VAT scheme. Got £60 for that. Nice and easy. Got to Cheshunt, no problem. Looked for a second job. There was a job on there, Enfield to South West London, which was going to a Walthamstow, South West 18. I think it was Walthamstow. So it's a pain getting to. You've got to go across the river. It was only 30 miles. I quoted 55 on it and got it. I think it's 32 miles actually, whatever. But from Enfield to there, I quoted 55, got it. It was one box. It was a hard drive. Pick it up from a distribution centre, which I've been to before in Enfield. And once you've been once, you know the routine, what you have to do. Gatehouse, where the door is, where the goods in is, where the reference number you need. Actually, not going to get in. And I got all that. And it was quick. And they got the parcel on the desk. They hadn't even got it in the warehouse. It was on the desk. It was one box hard drive thing. Going to London, it was a recording studio in London. Easy, nice and easy. Parked up then, Southwest. Decided I'd got enough money, a lot of money in the job, to move to the west of London. So I moved up not far from Heathrow really. I only moved about 6 miles, 7 miles. But I was parked west side, which it brings in Slough and all that. But struggling. Really struggling. Picked a little job up from a mile from Esher to Esher. And I was only 9 miles from it. I quoted 29 quid. So it's 10 miles all in. And it was moving some at 1.8 miles. And it was they're building some houses in Esher. It was a builder. And it was the same building company I was moving the stuff to. Good job I hadn't got a bulkhead because it was longer than the van. It was insulating. Because I haven't got a bulkhead, the seats went forward, it fitted in the van without having to strip it or anything. So that was good. Only light insulation. And filled the van up with stuff he wanted from one site to another. They'd finished with it on that site, it was going to a new site. Right near Sandown Racecourse. Didn't know where Sandown was. I know where Kempton is. I've never been past Sandown. But it was literally right the back end of Sandown Racecourse. It's funny because the builders, he's building 6 houses on the first site, and they're all terraced, like mid-terrace. 3 bed, All got a garage, but it weren't with the building. It was sort of in an L shape, a U shaped house at one end, garages either side. And I says, I bet these are sold already. He said they were sold as soon as the plans come out. He says, and I says, what, they cut 100,000 each in Esher, remember? He went, no, just under 900,000 for a 3-bed. What literally is a terraced. Wow. Shan't be one of them then. But did that, Esher to Esher, didn't take long. I'm parked up now. I've got really good pence per mile, but I can't get out of London. And a lot of you guys are having the same issues. You get to London and you can't get a job out of London, not without doing it for nothing. And I just wanted a job home, really, somewhere close to home. Because I've got to get the van in Tuesday morning. I've got to have Tuesday morning off. So I've just got to get home, really. And decided that perhaps get away for it. There were so many drivers around Heathrow looking for work. It was just a massive green on the app, nearby, who's nearby. So I moved up. I thought I'll move, go further up the road. And once I started driving on the M25, I got to the M1 junction north. Thought I'll pull over, perhaps at Toddington somewhere. Just another couple of few bob. Didn't happen. Didn't happen at all. I just kept driving, to be honest. I thought, nah, sod it. I was home by 6:15. I left the house at 9:45. So it wasn't too bad. Did sort of 9 hours-ish. And it was about 6 hours driving. I got £144, which is not a massively good day, but Mondays has been a bit slack. So take that, 64 pence. I did 227 miles all in for 144, so 64 pence a mile. I aim for 65. If I'd have got something else out of London back towards me, I'd have been well up, but I didn't. And I weren't sitting out. So Tuesday, Citroen had to go to Evans Halshaw because the fan. I've had the diesel particle filter done like a week last Monday, and the fan's raging. It is on full blast, the engine fan. There's no heat in the engine. It's something that's not working right, and they said, bring it in, we're going to put it diagnostics and see if there is something. But it should regenerate the fluid for the diesel particle filter. So I took it in Halshaw's 8:30, and given the do, they took it straight in, and they put diagnostics on it, and they were all looking at it. I went and got a coffee. I was a bit bored. I'd also got to go over to near rugby to see my accountant, just to sort a few things out. So I knew that morning was going to go down the winder, which it did. They did find something, and it is booked in again next Thursday. The low fan module, speed module, was knackered. So it was just resurging this stuff through high speed. Should be doing it on the lowest speed. It's not. It's doing it on the highest speed. So it's got to have a new module put in. And I've got a quote, labour, all in £200. So that's next week. So just niggly little things. Fan's running fine. And he says it'll run okay. The fan does cut out now and again. And if I turn the engine off and turn it on, it cuts out. And then after a while it starts again. It's just a bit noisy. I can hear it. I can only hear it if I have the radio off. And I have put the clutch in and just idle. I can hear it. But it shouldn't be doing it. Never did it before. They didn't charge me anything for the diagnostics, although I presume they put a bit of the price for the labour and the job, which they're doing next week. Then I went to see my accountant. I was with her for 2 hours. She was going through a few things with me, what we need to sort out, how is it going to work. A few things really, just got what you do for your accountant, planning forward, what you're putting aside for stuff. I stayed with her till about 1 o'clock, and then I'm 20 miles from Northampton, and I got a phone call. There was a job going Northampton to Banbury, and I quoted £40. Obviously, plus all this is plus VAT. So I did that. So I drove to Northampton, picked the piece up, took it to Banbury. Nice and simple, £40. I don't even know how many miles. It was about 30. It was about £1 a mile, but I was nearly 20 miles getting there, so 60 miles. Quite £40. It was easy enough job. It was just picking up one item. When I mean one item, it was sort of that, and it was going just Northampton side of Banbury, just by the M40. And then I was on my way back. I thought I was just going to blow this day out, just pick it up, knock it on the head, because I had a phone call from company who use me a lot. Don't even put stuff on the CX. And yeah, it was for the next day, and it was a long day. It was going to be a long day down to Exeter. So I've got to get back to Northampton to pick up. As I was driving back to Northampton, another shipper phoned me. Could I do a job, quick job, Northampton to Kettering? And I was on my way back to Northampton. I thought, yeah. So it's only 16 miles, but I quoted 35 quid plus VAT. And yeah, it was picking up one hospital to another hospital, which I found anyway. It was taking 4 containers from the pathology in Northampton to Kettering, and I know where these are because I've been in these hospitals. I've visited them. I've been nearly every ward with my mum when she was in hospital in Northampton. I've been Kettering with my wife and daughters when they, yeah, So I know these hospitals pretty well now. I know where to go, and it was all good. I got back from Kettering and I dropped in to pick these items up, these boxes up for Wednesday. There was only 8 boxes. There was 2 for each place. So that was Tuesday. Tuesday was a bit of a washout, well, a complete washout really. I did 99 miles. And that was picking up this stuff as well. 75 quid, so it was 75 pence. So mileage was good, but I only did half a day. I did literally 5.5 hours. It's not brilliant, don't get me wrong. But I knew Wednesday I'd got good money going down to Exeter, which I did have. I got a delivery. I could go early, so Wednesday the 6th, it was a 5 o'clock start. Well, 5:15. I sort of left the house just after 5:15 to get to Cheltenham. Delivered 2 boxes, then on to Cardiff, to Bristol, to Exeter. And I know these drops. I know who's going to be there. That's going to be okay with 2 boxes. Lovely. And I was down in Exeter by 12:30, 1:45. So I was done. 210 plus VAT. I'm going to say this all the time. It's 210. Everything's plus VAT now. Yeah, nice and easy. It's good mileage. I do a fair bit of mileage. Don't get me wrong, but it gets me down to Exeter for lunchtime when there's half a chance I'm going to get another job. And if I don't, I've got my day's target. But because I had 2 poor days, Monday and Tuesday, well, especially Tuesday, I wanted another job. And boy, did I get another job. Did I ever. A couple of jobs popped up. One was about 40 miles away from Exeter towards Axminster way. I quoted on it, didn't get it. There were no small van drivers in Exeter. There was a long wheelbase van and a Luton van, and within a 20-30 mile range there weren't a lot else. It's because Exeter's perhaps not a lot going on. It's not the best place, but it can be if you get a job, because there's only you around that's going to get it. And a job did pop up, and it was I just see Exeter to Leicester, brilliant. Leicester's less than 30 miles from my house, and then it says via Peterlee. I'm like, Peterlee's that's up north. I actually originally thought, is that Scotland? It ain't. Peterlee is south of Sunderland, Hartlepool way. That's Peterlee. But what it said was, pick up Exeter, deliver to Peterlee that day, and then deliver Leicester between 7 and 11 the next morning, Thursday. So it's a stonking job. It's a long way. So I quoted on it, worked it all out, what I thought, quoted on it, and it's 350 plus VAT, the job. And I decided that that's what I was charging, and he was fine. Phoned me up. I was probably the only van that could do it anyway. The long wheelbase, there was a couple of short wheelbase 40 mile away who could have come in and, but I got it. So I picked this up in Exeter. It was at the airport. At the airport there's a business parks and all that. So I went to the airport, picked it up from a technology company, 2 boxes. That was the worrying thing. It was going to be somewhat big, because obviously I was going to deliver to Peterlee, but what the instructions were, when you get to Peterlee, they're going to open the box, take out what they require, and give you the box back. So I thought, oh, these boxes aren't massive, because I've got to keep in the back of the van here. And they weren't. They were like that. 2 boxes, not even. One was a crisp packet, like for 48 crisps, and one was a shoebox. So mega. Off we trot. Peterlee. It said it was going to be 6 hours, 6 and some hours without a break. I said I was going to get there at 8 o'clock, 8:15. But obviously with a break, it's going to be gone 9 o'clock, perhaps later than that, depending on traffic. It's all motorway. It's the M5 up to Birmingham. It's the M42. It's the M1. It's the A1, A19. It's not boring, but it's nothing to see really, but you do get somewhere. So I fueled up, left there, and had a break, had 2 breaks, had a quick coffee stop, and had a little stretch of my legs around Hopwood. Didn't really stay long, for 10 minutes just to stretch the legs. And then I went up to Weatherby Services, got myself a burger, which is bloody horrible. That's the trouble with motorways, it's just nothing food. And expensive as well. But I got there at 9 o'clock, quarter to 9, into Peterlee. Huge place, machine company, massive machine, one of the biggest. And I got there and it was all sorted. Got a contact number, name, all done. He came, I went inside the place, bucketing down the rain. Lucky I was under a canvas. He got a standing knife, opened it up. He took out 2 boxes, literally like that, sealed it up. And it was going to the same company in Leicestershire. So, identical company, sister company in Leicestershire. So, that was it. I thought, right, it's now... By the time I got out there, it was about 9:30. I needed fuel, which is cheap up north. Everything seems cheaper up north. Fuel is definitely. So I filled up the fuel. I thought, right, how long do I want to drive? I've got a window between 7 and 11 the next day to deliver it. And now I'm knackered because I've been on the road for 16 hours. But you know when you've had a coffee and I've went and got some fuel, had a little walk around and chat with a woman in the petrol station, I thought I'll drive a bit because I've still got 100 odd mile to go to get to Leicester. I've got 180 odd mile. So I did. I just got 160 mile, so right. So I did, just started driving. And radio's on, football, Chelsea. I'm not a football fan, but I used to follow Chelsea. Getting hammered by Real Madrid. But I thought I'll go as far as I feel. I don't want to overdo it. I kept going for a couple of hours. And in the end, I was only 40 odd mile from Leicester when I stopped. And I stopped just north of Trow Services. North of Nottingham, you pull off there. You go down the north of Nottingham. There's a couple of big lay-bys that are just off the road. I thought that would do. I'll keep in there. I'd already set the bed up, by the way, at the services, because I got these 2 boxes, so I could move it, settle my bed up. Wasn't a cold night, 9 degrees, 8 degrees. And I jumped in the back, went to the toilet, jumped in the back. I cleaned my teeth and out like a light. I didn't even bother with YouTube or anything, just straight to sleep. I set my alarm for 7:15, but didn't bother because the wind that night and the rain. I did sleep, don't worry. But I woke up, lorries were going by even though I was off. There was a gap between me and the road. The van was rocking a bit. I got up about 6:30, 7:15, and went to go and have a had a strip wash, the old wet wipes, give it a wet wipe wash as I call it, 3 W's, and then clean my teeth. Down the first services on the M6, which I don't know, it's Trowel or Tibshaw, something like that. Got in a Greggs, got a large coffee and a bacon sausage baguette. I was going to use their services, as in the shower, but Jesus Christ, wouldn't put my dog in the shower. In the service is disgusting, so that weren't going to happen. So then I decided, let's drive down, and I drove it was outside Leicester. It was near Enderby. If you all know where that is, there's loads of workers in there. It's 2 big companies in there, a logistics company and a plant company. This was the plant company, and dropped that off in Enderby in Leicester. I counted that job all as Wednesday, even though I finished it Thursday. I'd finished it by 8:30. Now to me, that if I finished the job by then, my start of my day is the next whatever job that is the next day. So Wednesday worked out at 560 quid. Wow. Yeah, that's my best. I'm trying to work out if I've ever done over 500. I think I might have done 510. I've done 480s and 470s, but 560 in one day. Yes, it was a long day. It was 18 hours. I'd like to say it was about 19 hours all in. Shouldn't do it really, I suppose. There are laws and that, but yeah, I had 2 rubbish days, and to get 560 quid, well. So Thursday, I was a bit knackered. I must admit, I was a bit knackered, but I was going home Thursday night. I thought, I ain't staying out another night now. I'm going to come home. Picked a job up in Leicester. Obviously, that's Wednesday day, and it worked out 70 pence every mile I did. So I worked out what I was going to do to get to Leicester and the mileage and put that in on Wednesday's figures. So I did 800 miles, but I didn't do all that in Wednesday. I did some Thursday, but I put that Thursday mileage in. So I did 800, and it worked out 70 pence because I got 460. So 70 pence over that distance is, to me, pretty good. So, yep. Thursday, I picked a job up out of Leicester. Actually, not far from where I was. And it was going to New Malden in London, near London. It's sort of southwest London. It's a lovely area. It is a lovely area around there. Hampton Court, all round there. Kingston, Richmond. It's just, and I get used to it. I get a fair few jobs around there as well. And you don't want to end up there a lot of time because you're getting out there, like I say, it's hard work. But I did Leicester to New Malden. I did it for 99 quid, which was pretty reasonable money. I forgot to say, the 560 the day before was without VAT. You put on 112 quid, that's 672. But we're digressing. Thursday, got to New Malden. Just trundled down. No worries, and it's gone a bit dark. There we go. Yeah, 1 box. Wasn't a massive box either. I don't know what it was, but it weren't much. Did that for 99, no problem. And then I picked a job up. There was a fair few jobs going, but they're just going for cheap money. I don't want to go back in inner London. I'm on the southwest. I want to either stay southwest or come out, get a job to Bicester or Reading or anywhere that way, or definitely if I'd got something up the Midlands, but there weren't nothing coming up the Midlands. So I looked at work then, and then a job come up Kingston upon Thames, which I weren't too far away from, to Greenford. Again, nice area, Kingston upon Thames, and it was to Greenford, and it's a place I've been before, been a couple of times, and it was taking back hire kit from a TV rental company. They rent out cases. They're in big suitcases that are unbreakable, reinforced. And there was 3 of these cases to pick up. A company had hired them out, and I was returning them. It was only 11 miles, and I just quoted 25 quid. That's my lowest. And I thought, you know what, that'll do. If I can get that for 11 miles, and I was a mile away, a couple of miles, I was nowhere too far away. So, 25 quid, yep, I got the job. Probably should have quoted a bit more because it was London, because it did take me, it was under an hour all in, which for 25 quid, but I was in Greenford, and I sat there, and nothing, absolutely nothing. Everything was going into London, there was nothing, and I thought, you know what, I did such a long day, I want to get home, I just want to get home tonight, so if I can't, I'll just trundle back, I'll go into the services, I'll sit, which I did, I stopped at Toddington Services. I drove back, I sat at Toddington Services and looked to the feed for Friday. Job was on there. Daventry to Abingdon, return trip to Daventry. I was looking for a nice easy day Friday, nothing too hard work. So I quoted for it Thursday while I was in Toddington, and I phoned the bloke up and I got the job. So I'd got to get home, and I thought, that's nice. It was an 8 o'clock pick-up Daventry Friday. So Thursday, I only did £124 for 220 miles. So it was rubbish. Like 55 pence. All in. But I'd done three good days. So Friday, I got the job booked in. Daventry to Abingdon to Daventry, £85. And I thought, I only want another 20 something quid, and I'm over 1,000, 15, 20 quid, and I'm over 1,000 without the VAT, which 1,000's my target. Picked this job up in Daventry, nice little company, down to Abingdon, I knew exactly where it was going because I used to take COVIDs along the same stretch. Blacklands Road, is that right? I think it's that in Abingdon. Yeah, picked it up. There was 11 of these plastic stacking cases with items in, which easy peasy. Took him down to Abingdon. He was waiting for him, another engineering company, and I was bringing back returns, something different. There were 6 cases, strapped them on, absolute doddle, and it was a real nice drive as well. Just potted down a 361 from Daventry, if you ever know that road, down to the M40. It's a good biking road. You used to be able to zip along there quick, but there's speed cameras here and there and everywhere now. So it was a nice drive. Took that job, so I was back in Daventry. And it's the old thing. I'm very close to home. I'm less than 20 miles from home. Do I knock it on the head? I'm not quite hit $1,000 for the week. Or do I look for a job? I thought I've got loads of time. This is 10:15. I've got all day. I thought I'd look for a small job. I'm not far from Lutterworth, Magna Park, and I know there's Crown Couriers have stuff come out. The Toyota drops at 12 o'clock. If I could pick one of them up, maybe. Could be a good idea. And sure enough, I'd sat having a coffee at a Shell garage in Daventry, and a job popped up. Coventry and Nuneaton. They were going up to Manchester. I weren't going nowhere far. I wanted to be within 50 miles of home all day, so I ain't got no aggro. And a job popped up, Lutterworth. 2 drops from Magna Park. I knew exactly what it was, and it was St Ives in Cambridge from Lutterworth. And I quoted 75 on it. It was for 75 miles. £1 a mile loaded. I got 14 miles to get there, and I was going to end up in Cambridge. Cambridge is about 55 miles from my house. I would have liked to have probably got one somewhere perhaps closer, but I thought that's still good, and I got it. I accepted it. I got a phone call from Zaf, which I accepted. All good. 5 minutes, I kid you not, later, a job popped up. Daventry to northwest London and return. I was the only small van driver in Daventry as well. If I'd have been scrupulous and been not such an honest bloke, I think that's the word, honesty, I could have phoned Crown up and says, really sorry, can't do that job now, something's popped up. But I'm not like that. And I'd have got this Daventry job, and the reason I know I would have got it is because they reposted it 10 minutes later because no one was there to do it. I would have got about 140, 150 quid, and I'd have been to London, to Daventry, home, before I'd have finished this other job because it weren't picking up. As anyone's done Toyota parts, you don't, if it's 12 o'clock, it can be 20 past 12, after 12, but it isn't. It's not hard work. So I had to put that out of my mind that I could have got that. It was hard to start with, but yep, let's just take it. And then just to rub salt in the wounds, I'm nearly at Loughborough, and another job popped up, Loughborough, from Crown, same place, which would have ended at Luton. It was Northampton, Bedford, Luton, which would have been better me doing. And I'd have got the same money because of the same mileage, 77. But I got my job. I'm not moaning because I got my job. And I pulled up, waited at Toyota with a few drivers. There was about 5 or 6 of us, all having a good chat actually. Beautiful weather. And yeah, they're struggling some. Some of them were working for these big companies and they're getting paid peanuts. It just staggers me. I ain't going to name the companies, but they're contracted to these companies. They get first choice. But like, one of the women that works for one of these companies, she ended up in London. She lives in Birmingham, and she drove home from London to Birmingham because this big company hadn't got one job for her. And it's her fuel. She has to pay the fuel. And she said it happens quite regular. I don't get within. And she lives in Birmingham. She lives in an area where you think they'd get her there. But she was like, yeah, but I'm not too bad. And I don't know. Yeah, City Sprint was what? No, that's wrong. They're not. Whatever it was, one of the big companies. I've never heard of them, but they reckon they're big. But yeah. So, but that's the way it is. But I did the job, picked the job up. 2 drops, St Ives, 6 items, and Cambridge, 1 item. And it was nice and easy. Again, a nice drive, A14. Pulled off there, St Ives, trickled down to Cambridge, and parked up in Cambridge. So then, it's funny enough, where it was, round the corner, is Booker's, Big Booker's. My wife, All Seasons Cafe, Northampton, great breakfast. Great Sunday roast. Just phone up, look on. You might be disappointed, it's good. Yeah. I was parked in there. I knew that we needed dog food for the hound, who's still with us, bless her. She's asleep. Yeah. So I phoned my wife up and says, do you want me to get anything for you for the cafe? She did. So I went in Booker's, did a bit of shopping. Got dog food as well out of Booker's, cheaper. Had a little look around. Bought stuff I shouldn't buy because it's not good for me, but hey. And decided, you know what, I'm going to drive home. And then I got a phone call. There's a job for Monday. Going to Bristol and Cardiff. Can I pick the stuff up on the way home? Which is great. So it's in the van ready for Monday. And I said, yeah, not a problem. So I've got 8 boxes. Monday, I should be in Bristol at 8 o'clock. So I'm going to leave my house at 5. I'll be in Cardiff for 9:30. Hopefully going to get a really good day Monday because next week is a short week. But all in all, it's been a good week. One very, very long day. And 4 pretty easy days really, just piddling around. All in all, mileage for the week was 1,637. And I did 760 odd in one go, in one day. So, total hours worked was 55. That was every hour, including a lot of waiting time, which I count as work, even though I'm not doing anything. I did 37 hours driving, all in. So the 18 hours on top of that is like breaks. So it's 13 hours of just sitting around or faffing around doing nothing. My money was 1063 without VAT. And it worked out every mile from my house to my house was 65 pence. I broke the windscreen. Well, crack on the windscreen. Going down to Exeter on a Wednesday. Forgot to tell you that. Just driving down, rain. Didn't feel a stone hit it or nothing. Looked at the top of the windscreen, right where I'm driving. The crack's about 4 inches down. And by the time I got finished Wednesday, it had zigged across about another 3 inches. That got fixed today, which is Saturday, this morning. I went through alright, really. I phoned the insurance up. They gave me a number straight away. Sorted it. I wanted it done at home if I could on the mobile. But on Saturdays, you have to take it. So I had to take it to Wellingborough, which is 9 miles up the road here. Booked it in. It was booked in at 10:30. Took him. Well, I was there at 10. He phoned me. 10 o'clock and job done. It's all in. New windscreen. Cost me 100 excess plus VAT plus a bit extra VAT on the glass or something. I don't know. 130 quid all in. But it's done. Job's done. So that's this week. So it was a good week. Fuel's still high. My fuel cards for last week, the cheapest one was 179, which is a joke. Didn't use it once. I used my bank card because I was getting it at supermarkets for 175, 176. I think I got it for 172 somewhere. Can't think where it was. So next week's fuel cards, my UK fuels has gone down from 149 to 140. So it works out 169 plus VAT plus 20%. So yeah, it's come down. But next week, I say I've got a job booked in Monday. I need to do a good Monday, a good Tuesday, and a good Wednesday. Get 3 stonking days. I'm going to try and hit it. Here we go. Plan A. Obviously, Plan A this is. Never end up on Plan A, but Plan A is for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to get 3 days in. Because Thursday, the Citroen's going to the garage to have this module fan. They've told me it takes up to maximum of 2 hours. It's going in at 8:30. I want that van at 10:30. I'm looking for jobs Thursday. Friday I'm not working. It's Good Friday. I would normally work, but I'm having massage on back, which I have every 8 weeks. It sort of just eases the back. Back's give me a bit of jip, so that eases that nicely. And then we've got Bank Holiday weekend, which is Saturday, Sunday. Sunday we've got a day out. Monday we've got Bank Holiday. And I'm doing 4 days the following week because the van, he's got Darren's doing a service on the van on Tuesday the 19th, which is going to take 3 hours. He's doing in the morning, so I'm only doing half a day. So, all in all, a good week. Yep, get a few niggly things with the van, which you're going to get. I said I was going to bring a video out cost of the van, how much you should put aside a year for van, deterioration, tyres, MOT, servicing, brake pads, water pump, cam belt, diesel particle filter. There's loads of stuff. I will try and do a small video and we'll work it from there and see how it goes. But I say, good week this week. Hope you're doing alright. I haven't heard from many of you lately. I don't see Neil, whether Neil's having a week off at Neptune's or Tall Man Small Van. I haven't seen a video from him. I hope he's keeping well. I've been sort of close to your area, but not close enough. Jim from Lincolnshire, I haven't heard nothing from you, mate. I hope you're keeping well. I know you had a touch of COVID, but I hope you're all okay. See, Mank Courier's doing okay for himself. It's good videos, very positive, that bloke. So there's a few out there. Van on the Run, sort of picking up. Still doing... He's a great bloke because he does Amazon in his car. I can't get my head around Amazon doing that. I don't think I could ever do Amazon. But he seems to... He knows how to do it, and he does blocks here, blocks there, how much he can do. Yeah. Peter Courier, watch his videos as always. See his daughter got knocked out of the thing. I didn't watch it, Pete, because I'm not into that sort of programme. And Alan Carr comes from Northampton, but I just can't. I can't watch. It's just designers, and I don't know nothing about it. But yeah, must have been great seeing your daughter doing well on telly. That's good. Yeah. I haven't heard nothing from Big Beardy for ages. Just the odd little snippet. So I hope he's doing okay as well. Because, when I started, it was Big Beardy and Peter Courier. I was encouraged to watch by the CX. To say, look, watch their videos and see how they do. And it was brilliant. It was, and Van on the Run, they were information that I gained. And that's why probably I do this, to hopefully help other people. I don't know it all. I don't know half. I don't even know half. I don't even know quarter. But if you can just, if I can help anyone, not make a mistake, I'll try. I've just, on the CX, they've been very helpful because I've swapped over now. I'm on the finance manager and all my stuff can go across QuickBooks. So, yeah, thanks for CX because they've within an hour they answer me and do questions. My accountant says it seems to be a good system. So if your accountant's happy, perhaps knock a few quid off the bill. But hey, dream on. So it's Saturday now, watching a bit of rugby. That's why I keep looking up, because it's Toulouse and Ulster. Toulouse just had a bloke sent off. But Saints ain't playing this week. Awesome game last week. Beat Bristol 39-22. I'm down Bristol on Monday. I'll be seeing my mate on the loading bay who's a big Bristol supporter. We'll have a little chat. We will have a little chat. Bristol were right up there last year and we were right down here, and he was giving me all this. And then I had to take it and I took it. Bristol, great team, blah, blah, this, blah, that. We kicked their asses last week. And I haven't been to Bristol yet. Well, I haven't. It was his day off. I went to Bristol last week, I lie. So that'll be fun. That will have a little bit of banter. I like a bit of banter. Hope you're all doing well. Wife's at work. I've got loads of paperwork to do. And then I wait for her to come home. I'm going to have a chill out evening. And then we've got the grandkids tomorrow. 5-year-old and a 4-year-old. Wish me luck. Keep you young. Or don't. I don't know. There's never a dull moment with them two. Put it that way. We've got them for the day. So we're going out for the day. Hope you're all doing well. Keep making money. I'll speak soon.